All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday Follies, Coffee and Crafts with John. Thank God it's Friday. What a shitty week this has been. My God. Love y'all, but damn. I mean, Super Bowl loss for me on Sunday. My wife's had the eye thing. It's resolved, thank God. But man, what an annoying week this has been. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad the week is over. We can get back to stuff. Now, I got a hard stop today at 8:55 because I have a 9 o'clock student meeting that I got to get to. So today's show will be hopefully focused and compact, and off we go, right? So let's start out with Friday Follies. There's lots to talk, not Friday Follies, with the review of Daily Paycheck. There's lots to talk about here. So I want to go and switch my screen really quick and kind of go through where we are here. Let's do this. And there's a couple things to talk through. Number one is this. I got to change this. I don't know why it says $3.1. You know what? This is bugging the crap out of me, and I keep forgetting to change it. This was the offensive. You see the behind the scenes, the offensive line. This is my setup here. I use Keynote or PowerPoint clone basically to run the show. All right, so the paycheck, we're 6-1 with the offensive line, which is great. It won 6 times in a row. Easily, like no question. Like it was one day we had a little bit of a fight, not even 25 rolls maybe, right? Today we lost $1,100. Now I'm capping the loss at 1,100 because I said I'm done here. I got to get downstairs. I would have walked out at that point. In real life, the way you do these paycheck things is you got to burn the whole 5K to really see. So to me, that one loss is still kind of in the air, right? It's still kind of waiting around to see what's going to happen with it. I may do an after show. I may go back upstairs to the garage after my meeting and go finish it out. I may just flick the camera on and we'll do Daily Paycheck, finish up the thing, either burn the bankroll or make money with it. So if you're interested in watching that, come on in later on and we'll see what happens. Question here from Dice Dr. Dan says, Casino Gaming TV, did you hit a don't parlay? No, I did not today. I never did. We chopped everything up. Every win was followed by a loss. The don't pass win we got, we parlayed it up, come out 7. On the pass line, we hit the 6, we parlayed the 6, come out 3. Like everything was just we never got 2 in a row. We never got 2 in a row today. Just one of those days where it's chop, right? So the chop will get you for sure. And that was what I say. The verdict is stay out of the chop. I have burned. Now what we have here, we're doing $100 units. So $5,000 bankroll. So I have 50 units to play with. Okay. When I burned my bankroll in practice, I've had 20 units. I burned 20 units a number of times. We're about there now. We're about at our 20th unit right now. So you want to see if the chop will kind of work itself out over it, and it should. You know, you just need bankroll to get through it. And I think Duracell said it right at the very end of that session was, if you have this low of a stop loss, you're not having enough bankroll. Well, I ran out of time more than anything else. So I'm going to go back up after everything's done and roll that thing out. And I want to either burn the whole 5 or have it fight back. And I want you to watch it fight back. So this is a 6-1 with an asterisk right now. I want to go back and see really how it does when it's got to fight back from the ugly. So we're going to go back and do it. So just so you know that's that. Okay. What else is, you know what? Duracell texted me, and I think Cajun Crafts also asked for this. I pointed this out to you yesterday as kind of an aside. I'm like, oh, by the way, look what I'm noticing right now. And then I never went back to it. Today, 2 of you noticed it, and we're going to look at it right now. I'm going to switch over here. We're going to go to my my browser view, and I'm going to change the screen here a little bit. So take a look at Crapsdy really quick. Hold on one second. Let's get that. There we go. Look at the distribution chart. I want you to focus in up, and I don't think that I can really zoom in. If I zoom in, you can't tell that I zoom in. What's up here? And I said this yesterday, when I'm doing my stacked ones set, because my 1 is the dominant number, and it is for me. The 1 is very, very dominant for me most of the time. Now you can look at the last set of rolls here. There's no 1s. We kind of left that pattern, but there's a bunch of 1s earlier on. Look at the chart here. Look at how many, every one of these things, look at the sisters, right? The 2, there's 8 2s and 7 12s. So the low number is higher. There's 14 3s and 14 11s. Those are even up. 27 4s to 18 10s, 38 5s to 31 9s, 42 6s to 31 8s, and of course the 7 is the dominant. I'm actually got a bad SRR here, but every one on the left-hand side except for one, which is tied, is greater than the sister on the right. The low sister is better, the younger sister, I guess, better than the bigger sister in every single one of these things. And now we're at about 300 rolls. So it's starting to become a little bit of a trend. And I said, if you watch my dice today, the last set of rolls, not what I was doing here in the last set of rolls, by the way, was I wasn't setting ones on top. When I was chasing that 6 around, I was setting my dice with 3s on top to try and find that 6 if I could. So today, even, it wasn't a lot of 1s like I normally see, but I wasn't using my normal set. I found this interesting yesterday, and today it's obvious today that it stayed the same. And if you look at my actual like practice session rolls, let me go back to me go to my my 3,800 rolls that I do in practice. You don't see that same trend. This is 3,800 rolls. This is my actual throw logs up here. I'm not going to go through all the stats with you because they're not very interesting, except for the bottom and top stats, right? The bottom die, 1.5%. The top die, I'm sorry, the bottom working or the top working, 3.5% over expected, which is cool. That's the 1s and 6s that are kind of at play. But if you look at the report, you're not seeing the same, you're not noticing the same thing. Like my 2s are 108 to 105. My 3s are 241 to 109. I guess maybe they are. The 4s are 342 versus 315. They're higher. The 5s are 425 versus 430. So the 9s are better than the 5s for me. The 6s are 558 to 510. I guess it's not as obvious on the 3,000 roll chart, but I guess it is the same. The lower numbers for me are a little more dominating than the bigger numbers. I mean, it looks pretty close to the random, but look at this. Like all these low numbers are above, the greens are above the reds on most of those. The low numbers for me seem to be the ones. Like, you know, if you're betting on John, maybe it's the downtown for me. You know, maybe that's what you're doing as you're going. So I think this is interesting that you called that out, and I hadn't actually looked at it here yet, but really it's the exact same except for the 9, which is ahead of the 5. Every other low number is better than its sister on the high side. That is actually kind of fascinating. I saw that happening in I saw that happening in Crapsdy yesterday. You guys called it out today, and now looking at the bigger number chart, that's actually is kind of a trend. I'm gonna have I'm trying to get him to come back on here soon. I'd love to have JB come on with me again, Myopia Movie, and look at that chart. That I want to break down that whole set of stats with him. You know, he's convinced, and I'm sure people like Greg are convinced that doesn't matter what I'm doing, we're still random. There are things in that 3,800 throws that I've thrown so far, which is we're about halfway to significance, that are interesting. That's interesting that we're trending on the low side of all those numbers. There's other bits of interest in there too that I think are cool to talk about. So we'll get there. We'll get there and talk more about it as we go. All right, with that said, let's move ahead. Friday night fights tonight. It looks like it's going to be Sith Lord Espy, the 4-peat champion, versus Crappen Camper. I have not reached out to anybody. I haven't talked to anybody who could deal. I haven't talked to the players yet. So on hold, should be 6 p.m. tonight. That should be our game here. Craps Chat, Sunday the 19th, the Sunday. I love Craps Chat. Now, it's going to be weird with Craps Chat because, not weird, it's going to be a great show. There's no question it'll be a great show. We've had, I think, 3 episodes of Alfredo doing kind of a Craps Chat sort of thing. We've had, last night, Jeff and Ed went live, which was an amazing post-trip report show that they did. Those 2 are very similar to Craps Chat. So I'm wondering what Craps Chat's going to be this week. If there's a topic that Jeff and Skill have set aside for us, or what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to the show. I'm curious to see how many questions we get, given that there's a lot of questions asked last night. So let's see how it goes. But my takeaway from last night was, and I'll leave it to you in chat right now. I want your thumbs up or your thumbs down or whatever. Oh, sorry, on screen. Thumbs up or thumbs down to this question. My takeaway was team play, and not so much combining the bankrolls, but they did a lot of talking last night about, you know, blocking for the other guy and getting their chips out of the way, or noticing something in the person's toss, or, you know, seeing a weird bet trend that somebody's on and saying, yeah, you might want to think about getting your money off the table here, right? Because in the moment you kind of get, you know how it is at the table. We get, if you're not super disciplined or you're just excited, you make not bad decisions, but you're just not making the best decisions. So playing as a team was what I thought was the big takeaway. Moving spaces so somebody could shoot from their favorite spot if you had their spot. All those little things that came into play last night, or that came into play on their trip, that was my big takeaway. It wasn't the stories of who won what or the great roles, because great roles happen, bad roles happen. None of that really matters to me. It's the vibe of that table that seemed like it was cool, playing with your friends and playing in kind of friendly / team way. So I think I want to do a little bit of, I want to go back and cover that team play subject again. We did team plays a while back. It was great. I loved the team play stuff. You all didn't like it that much. It seemed like when I was doing team play, I was so excited about it and nobody really liked it. Let me know in chat. Do you want me to do some team play stuff? I can do some team play work and we can look at complementary strategies. Like as an example, today we did the offensive line, which, right, the chop killed that strategy today, right? However, Waylon and I were talking about doing the offensive line plus his 175 iron cross along with it for a couple of hits, right? Those two long rolls that we had, the 175 would have made about $300 during the long roll, a couple hits and out, which would have saved that don't pass from the chop, right? There's interesting things you can do as a team to sort of offset some stuff or catch the trend from a different angle. If you what I'm saying. So I think there's interesting things there. So I would like to go back to team play if you want to see some team play stuff. I think it's interesting. We can talk about it with shared bankrolls or with just playing with each other and how do people play at a table together that are there for the same reason. So I want to do it. I think it's fun. What else is happening? All the Crapsdy all the time. Games are getting bigger. Bigger. Alfredo yesterday crashed Crapsdy. 30-something people playing the game at the same time. Jeff will frequently have 25 or 30 people in a Crapsdy game at the same time. That uncovered a bug in Crapsdy yesterday, which there was a software bug and a server bug. The server couldn't handle the load for whatever reason. That's an AWS thing, maybe a configuration thing. The software couldn't handle the calculation. So between the two things, they crashed it. I think it's good. It sucks for us as when we're playing it to find a bug like that. But ultimately, that's how the software is going to get better. They don't know unless you can't simulate 150 or 200 networked people playing in the computer lab. They need to get it out there and see what is it going to do and what services at Amazon they have to get like kind of fired up to handle that load. But anyway, it's huge, right? Duracell started a Facebook group for Crapsdy. Those of us that are going to do Crapsdy games are going to publish from the Facebook group and start growing the live game. I think of all the things that have happened, if you look back at the last 24 or last 12 months of online craps of our world, our community, a couple of things have come to fore, right? One is craps on YouTube used to this be strategy, or it was just dice control. That's all that it was. Now we've built on this show, I think, this way of talking live every day. You look forward to gathering together while I'm talking. Crapsdy came along, and now we're doing shows like this where we're talking and chatting and playing. I think the live gameplay thing, whether it's because of or along with Friday Night Fights that we do here, Big AZs every night playing live, the live play online is great because it gets the bug out of you taking your actual money to a casino sometimes. You get to play. It builds friendships, right? It's cool. It's really cool. Crapsy's done a lot of good for us for all of its faults. For the fact that, Duracell will tell you paying for a beta kind of sucks, right? But for all of its faults, it's brought a lot of us together and it's given a lot of people reasons to have channels, right? And it's trust me, guys, it's hard to focus. Like, set your dice, get yourself ready to go, throw well, talk through it. It's making us better as presenters because we have to do so much. And it's kind of cool. It's been this great tool for the community. So I'm behind whatever's happening over there. I just hope that they get the bugs ironed out quicker, and I hope that we get version 2 quicker because the key features we need, man, we need them. Nuts and bolts. I don't understand team play. So some simple examples would be this. The one way of team play is combined bankrolls. Let's all go to the coffee shop with $10,000. 4 of us. We each take $2,500 out of the 10,000 and we go to the table. Or maybe I take 4 and the rest of you guys take 1,500. Something like that, right? And we agree ahead of time on the strategies to play, because I think at a table, if everybody goes dark or everybody goes in the box, everybody loses. But picture somebody playing 96 across on a half press. One team member does that. On a good long roll, he's going to make money. Picture somebody else playing the 3-point Molly, which is more of a come betting strategy. That person's going to, or 3-point Johnny, to be more specific. That person will lose less on the short rolls. They won't be so exposed. They make profit on the come out rolls. Like, their rhythm is different. They're going to win at different times on a good roll than the person with 96 across will bet. Those two bankrolls combined may both make money at different times for different reasons. That's team play, where you're combining those forces, right? You may have a more dark side team play where somebody's playing the 3-point dolly, don't pass with a bunch of odds. Somebody's playing Southern Border. Somebody's playing today the offensive line Baccarat, where you're going back and forth. Those types of things where one person can't make all the bets, right? So 4 people can, and you spread the money out. And one person gets more money because their strategy is a ladder today. But you predetermine all that. That's a way to combine money as a team. Other ways to play as a team are like what Jeff and the guys did in Biloxi, which is we're all 4 at the table, right? Stick left one's where we all want to shoot from, maybe. So as the person 7's out, he leaves the spot, moves on the table. The next person comes in, takes that spot. So as a team, you give up your position so someone else can shoot. As a team, you may clear the landing zone of all the bets, so the person shooting doesn't land their chips on dice, or their dice on chips. So team play is like this sort of, like Jeff was saying, that Ed would give him little tips on his throw. Oh, hit the, go over the stick or whatever he was giving him advice for. So little things that like your teammates can see you doing that they can adjust you with. Maybe talking about the bets. Do we want to regress here or not? Kind of a thing, and there's that. One teammate, maybe the teammate who's playing the line strategy like I was today, that person's job is to log the rolls. He's keeping track of everything, all the rolls, spotting trends, and maybe saying, hey, the table is trending XYZ direction. Let's get off, or let's whatever. That's team play. It's just 4 minds working as one, maybe 4 bankrolls working as one. So there it is. All right, let's go and do some crazy. Let's go to Friday Follies here a little bit. And I'm going to show you a strategy called the Bubble Crapper Tapper today. Now, this is not necessarily a bubble craps only strategy. I'm going to show it to you at actual bet levels, okay? But I'm going to play it at the bubble crap level. So let's go to my table really quick. I'm going to zoom in here, and I think, oh God, what happened there? Look at me upside down. Give me a second. What the hell? Erg. Oh, I think my camera's not on. Hold on. That's why. There, if I turn the camera on, my table camera is flipped. That's why it does this. All right, let's make this one. Not that one, but that one. There we go. There's the table. Sorry about that weirdness. All right, let me go to the table with the light on. Let the eyes blink at you. There they are. All right, let's look at, I was talking to DJ about this yesterday. I've had this crazy idea of like, what are my favorite ways to play each strategy? Okay, my favorite ways to play each number. Let me take all these down real quick. And my new favorite way to play the 4 and 10, this is better. This is so much better than the 4-10 Bank Street. I think I'm going to adopt this. And I'll do it just here on the 10 for you. It's a $35 10, okay? $35 on the 10 and the 4. They would both be played the same way. So given that, if it hits the first time, okay, that's going to cost you $1 in vig, by the way. If it hits the first time, of course, 35 pays $70, like so. On that first hit, you're going to take a nickel back to your rack. That's 25, 50, 75, $100. It goes to $100. Okay, there's $100. When that wins, so hit number 2 pays $200. Now, what Chris has been doing is racking the $200, taking the $200 back to your rack. There's other ways to deal with this, right? But you can look at that $200 as a couple of things. One is, if you take 100 of it and take back 30 out of the 100, you can look at this as saying this pays for the 4 and 10 at 70 bucks, $35 each, right? That $100 covers your other two bets. The other $100 can be then racked as profit, or you can grab hard ways with it, which is kind of fun. But either way, it wins 200 bucks. You can rack it, okay? Or you can be a degen and just stack it right on up, okay? So from 35 to 100, from 100 to 300, from 300, of course, to 600, right? Vig's paid, of course, right? 900 bucks in 3 hits. Love that, right? If you keep the second hit, it takes 4 hits to get there. You can take the second hit, be out of the hand, and then it takes 4 hits to get there. That's a beautiful thing. 900 bucks, right? What a great way to play the 4 or the 10 or both 4 and 10. I love that. My new favorite way to play the outsides. My favorite way to play the 5 and 9, as you probably know, is the G Money rack 2 blacks, right? That's a $40 9. Okay, 40 bucks on the 9. If it hits, it pays 56 bucks. You drop 4 because 4 plus 56 plus 40 adds up to 100 even. You drop 4, so you're in this thing for 44 bucks. You drop 100 out there. If that wins, it wins 140. You take the 200 bucks back to your rack, and you go back to 40 bucks. And look at that, rack 2 blacks in a couple of hits. On a 5 or a 9, you can win 200 bucks very, very easily. The next move is to go up to 80, and then go from 80 to $200, and from 200 to 2, you get my point, right? That's a great little builder strategy for the 5 and 9. Now for the 6 and 8, my favorite way to play the 6 and 8 is much simpler, less aggressive sister press. 60 bucks, 50, 60 on each, right? Your win pays 70 bucks. And I do a simple sister press. Take 10 bucks back to the rack, make them both look like 90. That's the 6 and 8 play. And you keep doing that. Boom, 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 and build those bad boys up, sister pressing as you go. I thought, well, if I had all the money in the world, and by the way, what that looks like across the table is 270. So again, I'm not going to drop 270, but there's 60 on each of those. Here's 40. So that's 60 and 40 is 100. 60 and 40 is 100. That's 200. And of course, the 4 and 10 being at 35 makes 270. So it's 270 across. Super aggressive. If any one of those moves happens, you're out of the hand, right? But that's crazy town, right? Who has that kind of money? I thought, let's do it at Bubble Craps. How does this work on the Bubble Craps at $1, right? And I love to test crazy ideas out, as you know, but not with 270. I'm not going to throw 270 out there and test it out that way. I don't have a problem, though, putting $27 out there and doing it on Bubble Craps, right? And sitting there at way smaller levels. And it's not actually 27, it's 26, because you're going to go, instead of 35, you're going to go $3 on the 4 and 10. Because you can't go 35, you can go 3, right? Instead of 40 bucks on the 5 and 9, you're going to go, obviously, 4 bucks on the 5 and 9. And instead of 60 bucks, you're going to go 6 on the 6 and 8. So the total here is 6 and 4 is 10, 6 and 4 is 10, that's $26. Play these bets the exact same way as you would play with green chips. And we can get the same juice, the same satisfaction out of playing this way, I think, by doing it this way. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play it at Bubble Craps level. I can't pay myself in pennies. So we're gonna treat these bets as close to as we can. Okay. In my rack, I've got 200, 3, 4, 500 bucks in the rack. Okay. I've got 26 bucks out here on the table. So technically speaking, I got to take this and make it look like 24 to get my change back. And there we are. 26 on the table, 24 in change. And I'm in for 500 bucks. Let's finally play this thing out. Let me get to my roll tracker. Let's get the bigger screen on. I'm going to roll it for about 10, 15 minutes, and we'll just see what happens. All right, this is, 555. This is a home run or a complete disaster. That's why it's Friday Follies. But on Bubble Craps, who the hell cares, right? For 26 bucks, if I can make that 26 bucks look like 64, it's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool little goal right there. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can do it and match ourselves up to what it would look like at a regular sized table. I'm going to switch screens. We're going to go here, get my roll tracker on. Hold on 1 second. Where is my, there we go. Let's go to the roll tracker, coffee and craps. There's that. Okay, let's get it on. Here we go. We're out on a point of 6 from a 4. I'm just gonna roll some dice here. Actually, I'm just gonna type in a 7. Who cares? 617. Doesn't matter. We'll 7 out. Here we go. Coming out. Bubble Craps is going. You see my rack. I'm gonna try and keep the dice in view as best I can. And we got a 5, 3, 8. 5 and a 3. Point's gonna be 8. We're off with the puck. Now, could you play this with a simple don't pass and some odds? Hell yeah, you could. On Bubble Craps, the 7 is dominant, right? I think more dominant than a person. Nothing wrong with, 5 and 15 back here or whatever you want to do. That's fine to kind of cover some of this. We're just going to play it straight up today. 5, 3, 8. Let's get that typed in. 5, 3. Let's go. Can we hit a miracle somewhere? Okay. Here's a hard 10. 5, 5, hard 10. Now, the best we can do here, again, I can't pay it straight as you would, but we're going to pay it as close as we can. So 3 will pay 6. Okay? It's going to look like 9 on the 4. Okay? Remember we talked about on the regular game, this would 35 would turn into 100, right? So this you'd want it to be 10. I'm going to go ahead and drop a buck and make it look like 10. We're going to go ahead and make these bets look proper to get them close to what the table strategy would be. So it's going to cost you a buck or two here and there to make these things work, but we're going to make the 4 look like 10 on that first hit. Or I'm sorry, not the 4, the 10. I'm backwards. The 10 looks like that. Here we go. Let's put that 10 in. Let's stay hot. Let's stay hot. There's a 4, 1, 5. Again, we just need one of these numbers to do it so we can get out of the hand, right? 4, 1, 5. Okay, now, what does a $4 5 pay? I don't have any idea. I know that a $40 5, right? That pays 56, right? This would pay $5.60, essentially. So it feels like $9, right? It pays about, we'd have 560, or we'll round it up. So 6 plus 4 also is 10. This goes to $10. Just like a $40 9 would go to 100, a $4 9 goes to 10 bucks. And again, you're dealing with pennies in here, so the rack's not perfect. We're going to be off by a few bucks with the rounding errors, but I don't really care. All right, the 5's pressed up, right? Can we make the 5 or the 10, like hammer this thing? That'd be so cool. 4, 1, 5. It is typed in. Cool. Just avoid big red for a little bit. Hey, look at that. The 5 hit it, right? That is freaking awesome. 4, 1, 5. Now, in the real world, this would have been 100 bucks, right? In our world, it's going to be 14 bucks. I'm just taking zeros. 10, 14, right? I told you, you're going to take back the 2 black chips and go back to your base level. How cool is that, right? In real craps, that's 200 bucks. In bubble craps, 20 bucks. So what? What I probably do here though is double the initial bet. We'll go to $8 instead of 4 or 40. You go to 80 or 8, and we're still taking money back to the rack. Right? We're just not taking all 200 bucks or all 2 units. We're just going to press it up. Now the 5 is like in position now to go from 8 bucks to 20 bucks on the next run. All right, here we go. Did I type that in? I did. Ooh, look at that. Land on top of the chip. That should be a YouTube short right there. Right? There's a midnight on top of the chip stack. Dice control is real. 6, 6. 6, 6 midnight. Here we go. There's another one. There it is. The 10 is working. 5, 5, 10. That's great. So 100 bucks or 10 bucks is going to pay not quite 20, right? It's going to pay what's my 18 bucks, right? 18 bucks. And remember, on the big table, the next bet up here is supposed to be 300 bucks. Now you could pull this back, right? Same bet that second one, because now I'm paid for it. If I same bet right here, between the 5 winning and the 10 winning, I'm paid for. This whole situation here is paid for, okay? Boom, lock it up. Everything's paid. Or you can say, well, let's make this look like 30. Let's just go for it, right? You can, on Bubble Craps, who cares, go for it. So you have a choice, rack it and stack it, keep yourself clean. Now we're totally clean. I need 2 more 10s to make money. We can just do that. We'll play it a little cautiously right here. 4-10 flip, 2 hits. Second hit, we're even. The third hit, we're gonna make money. Here we go. Let's get another 10. Wouldn't that be awesome? Hey, the 4 hit. Cool. The 4 is gonna do the same thing. Now, because the 10 and the 5 combined to pay for our whole setup here, I'm not gonna do that with the 4. The 4 is gonna go where the 4 is gonna go. And again, 3 is gonna pay 6. We're gonna drop a buck to make it look like 10 bucks. The 4 is gonna go to 10, like the 10 is. And I'm not gonna now retreat. We're just gonna let the 4 and 10 shoot the moon here. 3-1-4. Bubble crap, double tap. Hey, there's a 6. Good. 3-3 hard 6. So what is a $3 6 or a $6 6? Pay $7 bucks, obviously. 5, 6, 7. What I'm going to do though is this. We're going to take the 5 to our rack. I'm going to drop 4. We're going to exchange 5 for 4, and we're going to make them both look like 9. Okay, $9, right? A little sister press, the sissy press I called it at one point, right? There's that. So when they hit again, 990 or 9 will pay 105, or in our case 1050, right? So we'll call it probably $11 out of the shoe here. Now they're looking good. So far we've played the 5 to succession, the 10 to succession, the 6 and 8 have hit once, a second hit there, and they're in good shape. Did I put that in? No. What was that? 6, 3, 3. Here we go. Hard 4. Yeah, the 4 did it too. That is freaking awesome. 2-2, hard 4. Let's get some change over here. So 10 pays $18. Booyah. We're gonna make it with $2 look like 30. There's $20. Let's make it look like 30. That is in line right now for a big hit. Remember I said earlier my goal would be, and that's actually, we can buy it now. My goal would be, can I turn 26 into 64? Well, I think we're pretty damn close to it. Making it look like 64 across. We're darn close to getting there. So let's go ahead and keep on rolling and see if we can make that happen. But at this point, it feels pretty good. There's a 5, a 3-2-5. So the $8 5 hits. Okay. God, what is an $8? I have no idea what an $8 5 pays. $8 5 pays, well, if $4 5 paid 56, the $8 5 must pay 112, right? Or $12, or no, 112. So 11.25. We'll call it $11. Okay. I should have had this written down, but we'll say it pays 11. I want to take this to $20. So what I've got here is 15, $19. I'm going to drop $1 and make the 5 now look like $20. So the first time we pressed it to 10, this time we press it to 20. This will pay us pretty good on the rebound. If we can catch a rebound on that 5, it's going to be great. 3-2, let's put that type in. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Ace deuce does nothing. 1, 2, 3. We're not on it. We're not on it. Bubble Craps machines, they tend to either have a shit ton of 7s or they go on these amazingly long, crazy runs. They seem to not have a middle ground, well, I can see. 3-1-4, the 4 hits, right? That's fantastic. 30 is going to pay $60. And again, minus vig, it's fine. I'll just take a nickel out here. I don't know what the vig is, but all those pennies we've been shaving, we'll make a nickel pay for it. That's pretty cool, right? Think about if this was hundreds, or if this was 35 to start with, right? That's a $300 win, or a $900 win for you. That's amazing, okay? At this point, with all the stuff we've got, everything is kind of in different stages of doing well. We could make this whole thing look like 64 across. Just say, doesn't just take them all down, make a 64 across, and half press it like a normal person would. We've achieved it, right? Or you could just keep letting these things play on their own rhythm, right? Play the 4 and 10 on their own rhythm, what have you. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go put the 4 at $35, and we'll play the 4 now at the actual 410 flip level. We'll try and flip it a second time. We'll make it look like 35 bucks. But again, I could just take it down, go 64 across, and still show a little bit of a profit here. So, all right, here we go. Did I put the 4 in? No. 3, 1, 4. Let's keep this hot run going. Ah, there's a 7. We should have went down, right? That's okay. 4, 3, 7's fine. We did really good. We did really, really good there. In fact, we have a profit. We have a little bit of profit by playing each number, my favorite way of playing the number. So how do we end up here? There's our 500 bucks to start with. We have 25, 50, 80 bucks. We made 80 bucks in that little roll there, right? If you're playing at the other level, at the actual levels, that's 800 bucks. Right? That's not a bad little run there. And it wasn't even that great of a roll. I mean, it was an okay roll, right? What was that? Probably 11 rolls, 12 rolls, something like. It wasn't a lot of rolls, but the pattern of the rolls, right? Playing each number to its best ability, capitalize on what was hitting better than just a plain old little tiny press in the middle, right? So if you catch an okay run where you get the repeaters, you're good. I've had rolls that are 12 long where every number hits once and a couple of horns, and you're like, well, that was a worthless roll. This one, we happen to hit a whole bunch of repeaters, and it just worked out. So if you can make the repeater system work out, you're in good shape. So there's trial number 1. Let me go ahead and see what time it is, because I do have to get to that meeting. 8:46. Give me one more run through, and we'll call it. Just because of time. Okay. Here we go. Coming out. Coming out. There's an 8. 6, 2, 8, easy. And again, we'll grab 26 bucks. So there's 25, 30. We'll get back 4 and change. And I'll get us set up with 26 across. So it'll be 6 bucks here. It'll be 3 on the outsides, 4 on the 5 and 9. And there's your $26 across. Let's hope for another okay roll and let each of these numbers kind of play their own way out. I didn't put the 7 in. 4, 3, 7. And now we have a 6, 2, 8. And here we go. Aces. Who cares? Hard 10. 5, 5. Hard 10. And again, we know 3 is going to pay about 6 bucks. Not quite 6 bucks. We'll drop a buck to make it look like 10. There's your first part of the 410 flip. There's the point being hit. That's a 6, 2, 8. Okay, again, it's going to pay 7 bucks. 6 pays 7. We're going to drop, well, I can't drop 4, I guess. We'll have to get nickels or pennies for that. There's 7 bucks. We're going to go ahead and make them each look like 9. Take a buck back. Puck is off. We'll type that in. We're coming out. Bets are off. Oh, good. 617. Perfect timing for that guy to show up. 617, Bubble Craps. Back to the 8. 6, 2, 8 again. All right, let's make it work. 6, 2. 4. 3, 1, 4. So just like the 10, we're going to drop the dollar. Make it look like 10 bucks. Nine. 5, 4, 9. Center field 9. So the same thing. We're going to drop a dollar here. Take that to $10. And there it is. The 9's pressed up to 10 bucks. The 4 and 10 are pressed up to 10 bucks. 5, 4, 9. Let's get one of these to pay off good. There's a 6, 2, 8. That's the point. It's going to pay $10.50 or 11 bucks. We'll call it $11. Okay. Again, you can same bet here. What I'll probably do with this is take them back down to 6. Right? Regress them back once. I'm going to get nickels here because I need the change. take 17 bucks back to the rack. The 6 and 8 sister press has now worked out. Now they're going to go on their own steam here, right? These two haven't worked out yet. 6, 2, 8, that's the point. All right, here we go, coming out. 1, 2, 3. I got to hurry up here because I got to get to my thing. 1, oh, I didn't. Let's go. 9, 5, 4, 9. There's our new point, 9. Oh, I can't fix that, can I? There we go. All right, give me a 4 or a 10. How about another 8? Wow, the 8s are popping here. 8, 6, 2, 8. Now we're going to sister press 1 unit at a time. I'm going to do a 1 unit press here for a little bit. So again, it's going to pay 7 bucks. There's 4, 3, 7. Up to 9. Up to 9. Dollar change. Okay, here we go. Hard 4. Yeah. There's deuces. It's going to pay 18 bucks down the end there. 25, I will drop 2 bucks to make it look like 30. And again, if you're playing this at a real table, that went from 35 to 100 and 100 to 300 or 350 if you want to be super aggressive with it. So now we're at 30 bucks here. So you got to mentally add the zeros if you want to scale this bad boy up. 5, 3, 8 again. 5, 3, 8. 9 pays 10.50. Okay. I'm going to drop, let's see, we're going to make these both look like 12 bucks. Make them both proper. Now they're proper bets. It brings back a nickel. Sweetness. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, here we go. Another one. 5, 6, 2, 8. 6, 2, 8. That'll pay 12, 14 bucks. 14 bucks. We'll press them each by 1 unit. So this feels like the same bet in here. The next one will get a little bit higher and we'll start half pressing if we can get there. If we can get there. Another one. 8, 6, 2, 8, easy 8. Awesome. So it pays $21. Now we can say an easier press for each one. Make them both look, drop $1 out. Press them both 1 unit and take back 10. They'll both go to 24 bucks. Making money. Making money. 6, 3, 9. Center field 9. Okay, 10 pays 14 bucks. Right? Or, like we said before, it pays 140, right? We can take this and I'm gonna make it look like 8. We'll double up that base bet. We're gonna bring back everything. Now, we're definitely even for that 26 bucks that we started with. So I'm gonna keep these things going and going and going. 6, 3, 9, that's the point too. There's that, puck is off, let's go. 4, 1, 5, next point. I'm gonna roll a little faster because I wanna finish this and get to work. So 4, 1, 5. There's another 8, wow, 24. 5, 3, 8, that's great. So 24 pays $28. That is awesome. We're gonna make them both look like 30. So there's that. There's a quarter. There's 5, 10, 15. We're gonna bring back 15, 16 bucks, right? Awesome. Boo-yah. Nice run today, huh? 6, 3, 9. 6 and a 3. What's on there? $8, right? We're gonna make that look like 20 altogether. We're gonna drop 2 bucks. We're gonna make it look like 20. And there we go with the 9. That's a 10, 6, 4, 10. Wow, we are Bubble Craps masters today. 10 pays 18 bucks. We're gonna drop 2 and bring that 10 up to 30, just like the 4. They're both poised for impact. They're both ready to rock, man. 6-4. Give me a 10 or a 4 here. 5. Oh boy. Okay, the 5 at $4. We drop a buck, and it goes to 10. Puck is off. I gotta check the time here. Are we getting close to where I have to stop the show? We got 4 minutes left. Okay, here we go. Let's catch a 7 or point in a 7, and we'll call it 6-5 yo. Of course, not gonna happen. 6-5. I want to see one of these 4s and 10s hit it again. Back to the 9. 6-3. 6-3 9. Little bubble craps magic, man. This is looking good. 6-1 or 6-1. 5-1-6 rather. 5-1-6. 30 pays 35. Awesome. That's really awesome. We can drop. Well, I'm going to drop a nickel. And again, I think we can probably start looking at half pressing these two now. So we can make them go up by $12. I'll leave the quarter out there. Let's give them both $12. I'll take a dollar change, and we'll make them both look like $42. And again, from $26 that we started with, look where we are, guys. We have $30 here, $30 here, 42 here. We can pull all this down and go home. Matter of fact, if I don't get a resolution here in a second, we're going to have to, because I got to go. This is the stop loss based on time, not based on dice. There's a 3-2-5. So think about the G money strat, right? The G money double tap. The 5 was at 10 or quote unquote 100, right? Pays 140, right? You rack 2 blacks, go back to base, or you can keep it at $8 and take $16 back to the rack. Okay. Last roll. This is gonna be the last roll. No matter what happens here, I'm gonna have to call the waitress over and pay my bill. That's gonna have to be it. Here we go. Last roll of the day is gonna be a 3-1-4 home run. Bam. Hell yeah. $60 in that 4. Minus vig, of course. I'll leave a nickel here for all the pennies in vig. We're gonna call the show here. I'm gonna cash out, and let's see what we got. If I was at the casino, this would be a great time to print a ticket and start over again with a new bankroll. Where did we end up? Now, this could have been absolutely disastrous today. There's no question this could have been a shit show. As it turns out, there's $10 in whites. As it turns out, we did okay on bubble craps. Let's go ahead and get all these reds colored out. There's 5, 10. There's 100. The slick chips did again. There's 215 in red and 150 in green. So that's $365 today from 500. That's not a bad bubble crap win. Bubble craps will do that. Bubble craps will get you this 40 in a row, and that is pretty freaking awesome when that happens. Bubble craps will also go on an enormous run of 7s. Good day. Good day's work. I'm glad we did it. Let's go back over here. I can say goodbye to y'all. Goodbye to y'all. I got to get right to that meeting. So anyway, there it is, guys. Happy Friday. I'll see you out there at about 10:30, maybe, for maybe 11 o'clock for a continuation of my paycheck. I want to make that $5,000 go away if I can. Love y'all. Happy Friday. See you in a bit. Bye, y'all.